So today, well, what most importantly, what this video is about is I want to talk about working at Amazon. Probably many of you guys that clicked on this video are thinking about working at Amazon, but you're kind of unsure, or maybe you're on the edge, or maybe you already worked at Amazon and you just want to hear my opinions, because this is a very opinion, opinionated, opinionated video. Well, not all of it is, because I will be stating some facts and like some personal experience stuff that goes on there. So hopefully you can make up your mind and you can decide if you want to work there or not. So begin. Let's just get to the straight to the point. Should you work at Amazon? Yes. If. Yes, if. There's quite a few conditions that's why I say if. Most importantly, what is your current situation? Are you in school? Are you living with your parents type of thing? But if you're 100%, you should work at Amazon if you're by yourself and you need money. You need money and you don't have anything else to do. 100% yes. Anyways, I wrote down a bunch of stuff on this piece of paper. Make sure I don't miss any points. I didn't finish it because I was like, once I get going, I'll probably understand it all. But working at Amazon. So one of the main points that I thought about was pay. So let's say Amazon pays you $15 an hour, or at least here in Texas they pay you $15 an hour, which is a pretty good pay compared to most other places. I know Chick-fil-A pays like $12 an hour, and they're always booked, stuff like that. Chipotle 12 hours an hour. So don't get this confused. Amazon, I consider it to be a starting job for like a lot of teenagers, maybe just like adults that don't have a lot of qualifications type of thing. Amazon's it gets you started in the workforce type of thing. And for $15 an hour, that's pretty good. I probably can't name you any other place that starts you at 15. Generally, maybe a couple years ago, the minimum pay was $7.25, and that's what I got paid to work at a fast food, $7.25. But now I know they bumped it up so the average is like $12 an hour, sometimes $12.50. But for Amazon, $15 an hour is really good, especially since they give you good hours. So they generally give you around 10 to 12 hours a day. It depends on your schedule. So for example, for me, I work Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday for 10 hours each of those days. So what is that? Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 4 days a week, 10 hours from 6 p.m. to 4:30 a.m. So I work the night shift, or the very early morning shift, the graveyard shift basically. So you get 40 hours a day, 40 hours a week, sorry. And multiply that by 15, you get what? Let me pull out my trusty calculator, make sure my math isn't wrong. But it should be like 600, I'm pretty sure. So 15 times 40, yeah, 600. Oh my god. I didn't know I was that good at math. Just kidding. So 600 a week, you get paid every 2 weeks, so 1,200, which is really good. And let's say if you were to work at Chick-fil-A, which they pay $12 an hour, and you worked 40 hours, 480, and then times 2 for every 2 weeks, 960. So the pay at Amazon, really good, $50 an hour, and they give you really good hours. Yeah, really good hours. $15 an hour with lots of hours, 10 to 12 hours a day. So now, of course, with those hours comes, you'll be spending a lot of time there. So that's where we come into work. So the work that you do there. For the introductory people, there's these, what I would say, two main things. You can either be a stower, which I'll explain what that means, a water spider, problem solver, or Amden, but I don't know if Amden is very introductory. But stower and water spider are the main things. So you may be asking, well, what is a stower? What is a water spider? A stower is, imagine it this way. You get a box of items, the people ordered, of course, and you just put them in like cubicles, pods. That's all you do. That's what a stower is. and the machine tells you where to put it. But of course, you use you use your own mind to like, okay, does it go there? Would it fit there? Type of thing. Because not all the items are the same sizes, so you really have to determine, okay, will an item fit here? You don't want the items to be overstuffed, hanging out, stuff like that. They don't want that to happen, because the machines, the robots that carry those pods, those cubicles around, if the items are overstuffed or coming out of the pod, might collide and cause a collision and make the cubicles fall on the ground, slowing things down. That's what a stower is. A water spider is a person that brings those crates with the items to you. I know I'm not doing very good at explaining, but I don't have any visuals. Sorry about that. I'm probably just gonna have some gameplay in the background. I just wanted to make this video. But a water spider is basically the person that brings you these totes. That's what they call them, totes. Which I call them crates. These yellow crates to you, and it has all the items, and you just pack them. I mean, the water spider doesn't pack them. The stower packs them. The water spider is basically just bringing them to you. That's all he does. Stower packs the items. Water spider brings the items to the stower. And then we have problem solver. Problem solver is I called it a fancy name, but it's really not that fancy. It's if there's any issues with the item, you can't scan it, you can't put it in a pod, in the cubicle, you just put it to the side for the problem solver to try to fix later on. So those are and then we have AMDA. If an item falls out of the cubicles, they come and pick it up. That's all it is. Those are the main roles, I believe, that I saw at my fulfillment center here in Texas. So the work, as I've said, is not very hard. It's not complicated. Pretty much anybody can do it. You don't even really need training. It's just, as I said, you just get the item, scan it, and put it in, or you bring the items to the person. It's really that easy. Anybody can do that type of work. And for $15 an hour, yeah, anybody can do that type of work. It doesn't take a 400 IQ type of thing. So yeah, for that work, I really don't believe that we should be getting paid $15 an hour. It's too easy, but I wasn't complaining, I wasn't gonna say anything about, hey, I'm getting paid too much, lower my pay. No, nobody in their right mind would say that. But the work definitely was not worth $15 an hour. I'll say that now. So you know what the work is, you know how much you get paid, you know how many hours you work. So now the breaks. You work 10 hours, you're either stowing the items or you're sliding the items to the stower. Now let's talk about breaks. So you get 30-minute breaks every 3 to 3.5 hours. From those 30-minute breaks, let's say you have a 10-hour shift. You come in at 6 p.m. You work for 3 to 3.5 hours. So then your break would be at 9:15, somewhere around there. And then you take your first break. You come back at 9:45, 9:30, somewhere around there, depending where it starts. And then you take another 3 to 3.5 hours of work. And then your other break starts. And then you just finish the other 3 hours, and then you go home 4:30. That's my case, at least. For those breaks, you would have one 30-minute break that is unpaid. That means you don't get paid for it. And then you would have one 30-minute break that is paid. So $7 for just, for break. $7, right? 7 times 7, 15. I don't even know. Dude, this is embarrassing. 7.5. $7.50 for a break. All right. One of them is paid, one of them is not paid. Just remember that. And then you had these other extra mini breaks, which is every hour and 6 minutes. I don't know how I know this. Don't ask me how I know this, but every hour and 6 minutes I calculated, you get a 30-second break. And honestly, that may not sound like a lot to you guys right now, but it's a lot. It really does help. Those 30-second breaks really do help. And the thing is, for the stower at least, I don't even know. I don't think the water slider has this 30-second breaks. But I mean, it really depends. This water slider, you're always moving around. You're always active. While in the stower, you're just standing in one place, which is why they might give you this extra break. But for the 30-second break, what really helps is they give you like this on the computer where you scan the items. They give you these mini exercises to do. For like, one is for the body, and for the mind, you get to select which one you want to do. And then if you select like the body, they give you like some mini 30-second exercises. 15 seconds. They give you 2 exercises, each 15 seconds long. For the mind, they give you like these thoughts. They like these questions like, think of your most enjoyable moment. Think of your happy place. And they give you like those 15-second breaks. 15, so 30 seconds for those 2 main things. And you get those every hour and 6 minutes. And then you have this other break that isn't in the books, but people take it either way. The water stations and the bathrooms. So we have every little block. We have the south side, we have the north side. There's water stations all over the place. People just walk up and get water because it gets hot. The factory gets hot. So you could just walk over there, get some water, chill out for a little bit. Sometimes people abuse it. I'm not gonna lie. Maybe I don't think I abused it, but sometimes people abuse it. They leave for like 15-20 minutes to go get some water. Like, really? Same thing with the bathroom. I saw somebody get like not a strike, but like a warning because of it on like our training. He was gone for like 30 minutes to the bathroom, quote unquote. But those are some other breaks. So that's mainly the good thing about working at Amazon. The pay is good. You got plenty of work, easy work, not even worth the $15, and you get decent breaks. So now you may be asking me, well, okay, so why? You told me why I should work at Amazon, but why shouldn't I? Imagine you're a student. I'm not a full-time student, but I'm an engineering student, 11 credit hours, and I was struggling. School just started for me, and I was struggling to stay up for my classes, to keep up with the work with my classes for school. It was hard. It was hard to stay up for the classes, especially when you have them spaced out throughout the day. Yeah, it was difficult. Sometimes I would get off at 4:30. I would be home by 5. My class starts at 8. I would just stay up because I know if I went to bed, I wouldn't get up to go to the class. I really wouldn't be able to. I would miss it. Because before school started, I would get home at 5, go to sleep, and wake up at 5 again. So I would sleep the whole day, and I'd be up all night. But then having to stay up and attend these classes, no, it was bad. Unless you're very motivated and have the commitment to do it, go for it. But for the average person, I don't think it's possible to do it. Because I struggled, and I would just driving, like in the day, I would start falling asleep because I was tired of those 10 to 12 hour shifts. And sometimes they have MET, mandatory extra time, where you stay an hour extra. And no, it's not possible. Stay until 5:30, and then you have class at 8 a.m. No, class at 10 a.m. You're not gonna wake up. I don't recommend this for students right now. Maybe seasonal. You can work seasonal during your winter breaks, your summer breaks. Yeah, go for it, definitely. But for a student that's trying to work 10 to 12 hours, dude, you're not gonna be able to. I highly doubt you're gonna be able to. I'm not saying I'm not gonna force you not to do it, but I can't force you. You can go for it if you want, but it's gonna take a toll on you, mentally and physically. But let's say you're just a regular adult that needs a job. You don't really go to school. You don't really go out that much. You don't have anything else to do. You're not doing anything else. Yeah, go work at Amazon. The pay is good. The work is good. The work is good and easy. You have decent breaks. Everything so forth. Yeah, go for it. Go do it. You're gonna benefit out of it. Not just in work experience, but you're working for Amazon. You're bound to learn something. Now I get to put in my resume as a water spider, whatever you want to call it. I was able to manage over 15 plus people and supply work and make sure that everybody is has work at hand and doing something to effectively keep the fulfillment center running. That's something I could put, right? I mean, I'm not lying. As a stower, how can I say this? I get inconsistent work and stowing it at a proficient rate. You have this thing called the tag time, where it's like the amount of time it takes you to put an item in a pod. Generally, they said that it's gonna have it around 10 seconds per tag time. Sometimes if mine was, it was around there, 10 to 20, maybe in between, every once in a while. But yeah, working at Amazon's it's a good learning experience. It's a really good paying learning experience. The one thing I didn't like about working at Amazon, for me, other than the hours being super long as a student, was you don't really get any recognition. Like, none at all. You don't get any recognition at all. Which is kind of sad because, and you don't get to talk to anybody. I didn't even know who my manager was. I'm gonna be honest. There's so many people with vests on, or like the working vest, construction vest on. You don't know who's who. You don't know who your manager is. Nothing. I mean, there's managers. You know who the managers are, but you don't know who's your manager. There's no way to find that out. And you're not allowed to be on your phone at all for nothing. They allow you to bring your phone out now because of the coronavirus, but beforehand you couldn't even bring the phone into the factory. You're not allowed to wear headphones either. So if you want, because you just have to work. That's really it. You can't listen to music. You can't do any of that. You can do it, of course, on your breaks, but I mean, you're not really interacting with anybody. Like, why aren't we allowed to wear headphones? We have our 30-second breaks. Why aren't we allowed to use our phone for those 30 seconds? Check what's going on. Maybe a family member messaged us, something like that. I got a warning. I'm pretty sure you only get 3 warnings before you get fired for that. So you're not allowed to use your phone. You're not allowed to wear headphones. You're not allowed to listen to music, anything like that. You're just supposed to be working. And I mean, you have your breaks, but just work, which is what it's all about. But come on, let me listen to some music as a stower, please. I'm here for 10 hours. I'm not really talking to anybody. I'm gonna do my work, but I don't know. Well, those are my opinions on working at Amazon. Generally, I thought it was a fairly insightful experience at working at Amazon. It was definitely interesting. It was hard for me as a student, as an engineering student, taking 11 credit hours. I can't imagine for those that are taking 14 or more credit hours. That's crazy right there. Just by itself. Being a full-time student and working full-time, I don't think that's possible. But pay is good at Amazon, $15 an hour. You get good hours, 10 hours to 12. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or some other days, depending on the schedule you choose. You get decent breaks. The work is easy. There's nothing generally too difficult, anything that you have to really think about. But if you're a student, I wouldn't recommend working at Amazon. Anyways, thank you so much for watching this video on working at Amazon, my experience. If you have any questions or anything like that, I'll answer them for sure. I'll let you guys know. But yeah, thank you for watching so much. I appreciate it.